WWE's treatment of Jade Cargill is getting ridiculous. They signed one of the most dominant wrestlers in modern history, gave her the red carpet treatment, promised her the world, and then proceeded to absolutely waste every single ounce of her potential. We need to talk about what WWE is doing to Jade Cargill, because this isn't just bad booking anymore. This is borderline disrespectful to someone who could have been the face of women's wrestling for the next decade. You're watching this because you know something feels off about Jade's WWE run, and I'm about to break down exactly why this situation has gone from disappointing to downright insulting. But before we get into the details, I want you to drop a comment right now telling me, do you think WWE is deliberately sabotaging Jade Cargill, or are they just incompetent? Because after what I'm about to show you, you're going to question everything WWE has told us about their commitment to women's wrestling. Let's rewind to when this all started. Jade Cargill was that girl in AEW, undefeated for over 500 days, 60 wins and 0 losses. She was the TBS champion, she had the look, she had the presence, and most importantly, she had the momentum that makes superstars. When WWE came calling, everyone knew this was going to be huge. Triple H himself talked about how important she was to the future of the company. The comparisons to China, to a female Goldberg, they were all there. This wasn't just another signing. This was supposed to be a game changer. Fast forward to today, and what do we have? Jade Cargill is essentially a glorified bodyguard for Bianca Belair. Let that sink in. A woman who was booked as an unstoppable force, who carried a championship for nearly 2 years without a single loss, is now standing in the background while others get the spotlight. And yes, I know they won the tag titles together. I know WWE is going to point to that and say, see, we're using her. But that's exactly the problem. They're not using her. They're using the idea of her. Here's what's really going on, and this is where it gets infuriating. WWE has a pattern, a very clear, very documented pattern of taking wrestlers who made their name elsewhere and systematically breaking down what made them special. They did it with EC3. They did it with Bobby Lashley initially. They did it with Nakamura. And now they're doing it to Jade. The formula is always the same: bring them in with fanfare, put them in a program that doesn't showcase their strengths, and then act surprised when the audience doesn't connect with them the way they did before. But Jade's situation is even worse because of who she is and what she represents. Jade Cargill isn't just another wrestler. She's a legitimate crossover star. She has over 2 million Instagram followers. She's appeared in mainstream media. She has the look that Vince McMahon would have built the entire company around back in the day. And somehow, WWE has managed to make her feel ordinary. That's not just bad booking. That's almost impressive in how wrong they've gotten this. Let's talk about the Tag Team Championship run, since WWE fans love to defend this decision. On paper, pairing Jade with Bianca Belair makes sense. You've got two of the most athletic, powerful women in wrestling today. They look like champions. They carry themselves like stars. But here's the thing nobody wants to admit: this pairing has done nothing for Jade except put a ceiling on her potential. Bianca Belair is established. She's a former Royal Rumble winner, a multiple-time champion, someone who's main event WrestleMania. When you put Jade next to her, Jade doesn't rise to Bianca's level, she becomes Bianca's accessory. Every promo, Bianca talks the most. Every big spot in their matches, Bianca gets featured. The story has never been about Jade Cargill finding her place in WWE. It's been about Bianca Belair being so good that she can carry anyone, even someone as naturally gifted as Jade. And don't even get me started on the creative direction or lack thereof. What is Jade Cargill's character in WWE? Can anyone answer that? In AEW, she was the baddest woman on the planet. She was cocky, dominant, and backed up everything she said. She had an aura. Now, she smiles, she tags in, she does her signature moves, and she tags out. There's no edge. There's no personality. She's been sanitized to the point of being unrecognizable from the star that WWE supposedly couldn't wait to sign. This is what WWE does, and this is why so many people are frustrated. They see something successful in another company, they bring it in, and then they immediately try to WWE-ify it. They can't just let Jade be Jade. They have to fit her into their system, their formula, their way of doing things. And in the process, they strip away everything that made her special in the first place. Here's the part that should make every wrestling fan angry: WWE had a roadmap. They had 544 days of proof showing them exactly how to book Jade Cargill. AEW wasn't doing anything revolutionary, they just let her be dominant. They protected her. They made her feel important. Every match felt like an event because Jade was in it. WWE could have copied that homework word for word and it would have worked. Instead, they looked at one of the most successful undefeated streaks in modern wrestling and said, nah, let's make her a tag team wrestler. Now, I can already hear the defenders typing their comments. She's still new to WWE. They're building her up slowly. The tag titles are important. Let me address all of that right now, because these excuses are getting old. First, Jade isn't new to wrestling. She had nearly 3 years in AEW where she proved she could handle the pressure of being a champion and a top star. This isn't someone who needs to learn the ropes in developmental. Second, there's a difference between building someone slowly and completely wasting their momentum. Jade came into WWE with buzz. That buzz is almost gone now. And third, the tag titles in WWE's women's division have never, and I mean never, been treated as a priority. They're the titles you put on people when you don't have anything better for them. Everyone knows it. Stop pretending otherwise. What makes this even more frustrating is that we've seen what happens when WWE actually commits to pushing someone. Look at Rhea Ripley. Look at what they did with Jade's own partner, Bianca Belair. When WWE wants to make someone a star, they know exactly how to do it. They give them meaningful feuds, consistent TV time, and booking that makes them look strong even in defeat. Jade has gotten none of that. She's just there, existing, taking up space on a roster that's already crowded. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, the injury angle. When Jade got written off TV with that mysterious backstage attack storyline, people thought, okay, this is it. This is where they're finally going to give her a real storyline. It was the perfect setup. Someone attacks Jade, she comes back for revenge, she goes on a rampage through the women's division. Simple. Effective. Exactly what her character needed. But what did WWE do? They barely followed up on it. The mystery got dropped. Jade came back and just slotted right back into the tag team. No character development. No fire. No reason for us to care more about her than we did before. This is the same company that spent months on a Who Ran Over Austin storyline. The same company that will dedicate entire episodes of Raw to ridiculous comedy segments and celebrity appearances. But when it comes to actually developing one of the most naturally gifted athletes they have on the roster, suddenly they can't find the time or creative energy. Make it make sense. Here's what really gets me: Jade Cargill should be in the conversation for the Women's Championship right now. Not the tag titles. Not as someone's sidekick. She should be the one challenging Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan or whoever's holding the title. She should be the final boss that other women are trying to overcome. Instead, she's in the mid-card having 6-minute tag matches on SmackDown that nobody remembers by the time the show ends. The worst part? I don't think WWE even realizes what they're doing wrong. In their minds, Jade is probably doing great. She's on TV every week, she's a champion, she's getting paid. But they're measuring success by the wrong metrics. Yes, Jade is employed and winning matches. But is she a star? Is she someone that casual fans tune in specifically to see? Is she someone that the WWE universe is emotionally invested in? The answer to all of those questions is no, and that's entirely WWE's fault. Think about the moments that make wrestlers into legends. The promos that people remember decades later. The matches that define careers. The storylines that have fans on the edge of their seats. Jade Cargill hasn't had a single one of those moments in WWE. Not one. And it's not because she's incapable of having them. It's because WWE hasn't given her the opportunity. They've kept her in such a safe, restricted box that she can't possibly break out and show what she's really capable of. This is bigger than just Jade, though. This is about WWE's priorities and what they actually value in their women's division. They'll tell you they care about women's wrestling. They'll point to main events and premium live event matches. But when you actually look at how they book their women week to week, you see the truth. The same few women get all the focus. Everyone else is just filling time. And talented, charismatic, marketable performers like Jade Cargill get lost in the shuffle because WWE is too scared or too lazy to actually create new stars. You want to know what the real tragedy is? There are girls out there right now who look at Jade Cargill and see themselves. Girls who don't fit the traditional mold of what a female wrestler is supposed to look like. Girls who are tall, muscular, powerful, and different. Jade could be an inspiration to an entire generation. She could be showing them that there's a place for them in this industry. But instead, she's being booked like she's lucky to be there. Like she should be grateful for the scraps WWE is giving her. That's not just bad for Jade. That's bad for the entire future of women's wrestling. So what's the solution? What should WWE be doing differently? It's actually pretty simple. First, split up the tag team. I know that's going to be controversial, but it has to happen. Jade and Bianca need to go their separate ways so Jade can finally stand on her own. Give them a respectful split. Maybe they lose the titles and mutually agree to pursue singles success. No heel turn necessary. Just two competitors choosing to bet on themselves. Second, put Jade in a program with someone who can work and who will make her look great. Give her a feud with someone like Bayley or Naomi or Tiffany Stratton, someone who understands psychology and can help Jade continue to develop in longer, more complex matches. Let them build something over several weeks with actual storytelling. Revolutionary concept, I know. Third, and this is crucial, let Jade talk. Stop scripting her to death. Stop making her sound like every other WWE wrestler. Jade has charisma. She has presence. Let her be confident, maybe even a little cocky. Let her character have an edge. She doesn't need to be a heel, but she needs to be more than just a smiling babyface who high-fives fans on her way to the ring. Fourth, protect her. When Jade wins, it should feel dominant. When she loses, if she has to lose, it should take multiple people or shenanigans to beat her. She should never be getting pinned clean in random tag matches. Her aura of being unstoppable needs to be rebuilt, and that starts with how she's presented in wins and losses. Finally, commit to the push. This half-measure stuff isn't working. If WWE is going to use Jade, they need to go all in. Put her in meaningful storylines. Give her TV time. Make her feel important. Or, honestly, let her go somewhere that will. Because this current situation isn't benefiting anyone, not Jade, not WWE, and certainly not the fans who were excited to see what she could do on the biggest stage. Look, I get it. WWE has a lot of talented people on the roster. Not everyone can be champion. Not everyone can main event. But Jade Cargill isn't just anyone. She's a once-in-a-generation talent with legitimate crossover appeal. The fact that WWE has fumbled this so badly is mind-blowing. This should have been easy. This should have been a layup. Instead, it's turning into one of the biggest missed opportunities in recent WWE history. The clock is ticking. Jade's momentum is fading. The buzz around her signing is gone. If WWE doesn't course-correct soon, they're going to look back in a few years and wonder why Jade Cargill never became the star everyone predicted she would be. And the answer will be simple: because they didn't let her. So I'm asking you, the fans, to make your voices heard. Comment below. Tell WWE on social media. Let them know that you want more for Jade Cargill. Because if we stay silent, if we just accept this mediocre booking, nothing will change. WWE needs to know that we see what's happening and we're not okay with it. Jade Cargill deserves better. Women's wrestling deserves better. And honestly, we as fans deserve better than watching one of the most exciting prospects in wrestling get reduced to an afterthought. The question is, will WWE finally wake up and do something about it? Or are we watching the slow-motion destruction of what could have been one of the biggest stars of this generation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you agree. Share it with everyone who needs to see this. And let's hope WWE is actually paying attention, because this situation has gone from disappointing to absolutely